Okay, I'm gonna go for these 3 moon videos that I got here. 2 of them are pretty decent, and at the same time, Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk nonsense. Elon Musk is a purposeful liar. There's no such thing as outer space in the way that we're told. It's not what it is. So all his nonsense. I mean, I was just looking and watching some of the videos that you put on here for Elon Musk, and claiming that he's alien, and maybe just joking around about it or whatever. There's no such thing as space aliens. There may be some evidence that there are another species that are a silicon species that may be here with us. I don't think they can handle being around us, the human population. I have an idea of where they are. I'm not going to get into it right now. Maybe in some future videos for somebody else, but for you guys that are still believing this nonsense, it's a waste of my time to get into talking about all that. Harold Kotz was even closer to the reality that there are other aliens that are on this earth with us. But as far as space, that was the problem that I had with Elon Musk. I'm sorry, with Harold Kotz, was that see, the thing with Harold Kotz, though, Harold Kotz might be a product of his environment, just like I'm hoping that you, Jordan Peterson, will just be a product of your environment, not a purposeful liar, because Elon Musk is a purposeful liar. Elon Musk knows that he's not going into outer space, because there's no such thing as outer space the way that we're led to believe. The lies are so gay. They really are so fucking gay that we can see it with our own eyes that they're lying to us. When I see the lies be so blatant, blunt, obvious, and someone as intelligent as Jordan Peterson still doesn't see it, and he still wants to believe in outer space. You're patting the guy on the back for putting a car. You obviously, if you did go and look at the videos of that nonsense, CGI garbage, and you can't put 2 and 2 together and see all the nonsensical shit, it's ridiculous. Just same way I was talking about in earlier videos about the moon landing nonsense. You can see how ridiculous it was. It was really ridiculous. It really is. And just because they psyops already have the other side, in other words, the conspiracy side, the conspiracy theorists, they were already set up for that, because there were going to be some people that were not going to buy into this bullshit, right? There was always going to be some, but there's no reason for anyone to buy into it other than you want to be entertained, because the shit is so ridiculous. So I'm going to grit my teeth and listen to this nonsense, because it's about to start playing as I'm showing you the moon. Now, these moon videos are for everybody. These moon, you can all go do videos of the moon. It's very simple. Telescopes are out there, cameras are out there. We can watch the moon very closely. We can figure it out like that. We can figure out the timing, the false creator / creator's clock that the moon is. We can figure it all out. We can put it all together and see it for ourselves. We don't need this nonsense. These are all bullshit stories that are made to distract us from reality that's all around us. And they do a really good job at it. And Elon Musk is a plant, the same way that Tesla was a plant, the same way that Biden and Trump are plants, the same way that other leaders and programmers are plants. They're planted. The technology that he's talking about, which is, I mean, I'm listening to Elon Musk, and I've listened to probably a good 100 videos or more with Elon Musk speaking in the videos, talking to people and everything like that. And I assure you, he's lying like a motherfucker, and he's a purposeful liar. And I don't get why anyone's even listening to him. I mean, all I see is people patting him on the back of how ingenious he is. I don't see any ingeniousness. I don't even see it. Even someone like yourself, who's well read, is better and more intelligent than Elon Musk. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. I'm not going to take the time to go follow Elon Musk's life to prove to you and all. No, I don't have to. I don't have to. All I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you can see for yourself. You go look at this for yourselves and you'll see the system for yourself. Once you see the system for yourself, then you'll know that they're all lying to you about all of that. And you'll know that it's a bunch of nonsense, huge waste of money. I mean, there's people dying on this earth because they can't afford food, and we're spending billions of dollars a year doing these fake ass CGI programs. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. It's really way ridiculous. Anyways,
He's probably an alien.
Yeah, probably. There's only two.
Probably a reptilian.
Do you think there is other intelligent life outside there?
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know.
yeah, they don't look like you and they don't look like me. If they are, you're just somebody. Elon Musk is just someone who does not have a mirror neuron. He doesn't possess a mirror neuron. He can lie to you openly with no problem, no trouble at all. Anyways, what I'm doing here with this moon is I'm going to be this is my telescope with my cheap little $30 camera, and I'm doing 360s on the telescope with my camera in order to, because it's all about the lights and shadows, angles of perception, and distances and angles of perception in order to collect the imagery. And we'll just see what happens. So what I do here is I'm letting the moon go light to light. In other words, in the telescope, it's going to go light to light. And I'm letting it come in slowly because this takes away the collage effect. The same thing that I'm trying to do with you, for you with the clouds. I'm trying to show you and explain to you at the same time how to do this so that it'll get through your head when you're seeing it and understand it a little better. Because we've been lied to all our lives with all this nonsense. So therefore, everybody's stuck to believe what they're hearing with their ears from these liars rather than just seeing with their own eyes.
Do you think there is other intelligent life outside there?
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
And that's how you know Joe Rogan's part of it, because Joe Rogan plays up the space alien nonsense with a lot of people. Joe Rogan is definitely a lying motherfucker plant too. He's the same thing as Elon Musk, you know. I hope, Jordan Peterson, I hope you're not. I hope you're a real person and you'll actually come to these and open your fucking eyes and stop playing games.
There is other intelligent life outside there?
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
I saw you took a trip to the Tesla factory. What were your thoughts after meeting Elon Musk? Did you get to speak to him much?
I wouldn't say much. We spoke probably for 20 minutes in total, not purely privately because there's other people around, but you know, that just barely gets you to know the surface of someone like Musk because he's an amazing person and God only knows
No, he's not.
what's up with him, all things considered. We saw his new truck. He was taking people out for a ride. I didn't go out for a ride.
Yeah, his new truck, it's goofy looking, it's ugly, it does not, it runs on electricity, and you guys are all so impressed with that. Oh my god, electric car. Oh, it's got a fucking brain in it. Listen, this is ridiculous. This computerized AI with the 010101 is a huge fucking trick. Should be able to see it all because zeros are a human concept. There's no such thing as zero in the true creator system, nor the false creator or the false creator / creator system in any of their work. There is no such thing as zero. As a matter of fact, I'm hard pressed to find circles. Here, as I show you a circle that we call the moon, right? As I'm going to say this, okay? And same thing with O's. Zeros, circles, and O's all should not even be anything more than something that humans did out of our what you call intelligence. We were so smart. We got so fucking smart we didn't know what to do with ourselves. This truck that you're about to show, I talk about, what a piece of shit. Ugly. They break down all the time. Tesla cars are pieces of shit, man. They break down all the time. $165,000 for a piece of junk that, first of all, if he's so smart, I mean, come on, you guys are smarter than this, man. Everybody around should be smarter than this. These fucking, we have solar panels, right? So if you have solar panels and we already know how to install them on the roof of a house, so obviously we're not worried about hailstorms smashing them, breaking them, hard rains, anything like that, right? So we know that we can put these panels all over the place inside cars. You know, in other words, lay them out in the roofs. We know we can angle them at all different angles and make some pretty cool looking solar panels. In other words, body panels for automobiles. So we can make electric cars that run on solar panels, and therefore we would never need to fill up at a gas station ever again. We would never need to, as long as they stop the mineral streets, which is another thing, another way that you know that Elon Musk and Joe Rogan are both liars, because neither one of them ever talk about the mineral streets. Mineral streets are going on above your head, tens of thousands of them per day, and you all ignore them. You all pretend to be blind to them. I don't know. You're looking in your books. You're not paying attention. You're watching the news. You're looking at Twitter. I don't fucking know. But obviously no one's looking up at the sky. Okay? So that's an easy thing to say. So if they got control of the carbons that we lay out in the atmosphere, then of course they have control over the rays from the sun. So if we're using solar rays from the sun in order to charge solar panels, then seeing that we're now changing our system over to this whiter, bluer light, is that better than the orange light? Do we cut down on any par? What did we cut down on? Nobody knows, because nobody even fucking pays attention. It's unbelievable, man. But yet you're patting this guy on the fucking back and saying he's a genius and he's so smart about all these things. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. The truck, back to Elon Musk's truck that he's making, self-driving truck and all this stuff, right? It's all nonsense, because he's claiming that they claim because they've been claiming for a long time. You got to go through all the lies. You got to go through the satellite lies. You got to get through that. There's all these different arguments and debates that you could have with people, but instead of doing that, just go look at the system for yourself first before you even bother. And even when you do see it, I wouldn't bother arguing with them. Let them go on their way. Let them keep going their way. You have to take everybody in a better direction. And I hope you do. I hope you come and look at what it is I'm going to be showing you here, and you do go and Get some. And the imagery's banging. We're looking at the moon here. I do have it on pause because I'm gonna grab a filter while I'm listening to these guys talk, and I'm not gonna be able to help but to keep interrupting. I'm gonna have to because I cannot stand listening to this shit, man. Especially when you got so many people that, oh yeah, yeah, Elon Musk, he's been fucking so fucking smart. No, man, he's lying, man. He's lying to you all. Just like NASA does. NASA's got thousands of employees all lying. You want to know how they're lying and all these details and everything like that? Okay, we can talk about that later. We can show you all the lies individually. But first, go look at the system for yourself. Do what I'm showing you. Go see the system. Have some appreciation for the true creator's work. Have some appreciation for the creator slash false creator's work. And then go from there. Because then when you'll be looking at everything with a new eye, and then looking at it with the open eye rather than going by your environment, what you've learned with your brain capsule, your memory, in other words. This is much better. What I'm showing you is much better. The technology of what I'm showing you is much, much better. Elon Musk is trying to get you guys over to the AI and look at the AI is a human concept. The real true creators system is much better. Much better. I can't explain, at least not quickly. It's gonna I have to explain over thousands of videos, and then the videos don't even get seen. So it's kind of a waste. All right, let's try this again.
There's only two.
Probably a reptilian.
Yeah, he's probably reptilian. There are no snakes, feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast are what you see in the true creators' work. Okay.
Outside there.
So
This is one of the great
we got
questions
a lot
in
to go
physics
through.
and philosophy. Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
I saw you took a trip to the Tesla factory. What were your thoughts after meeting Elon Musk? Did you get to speak to him much?
I wouldn't say much. We spoke probably for 20 minutes in total, not purely privately because there's other people around, but that just barely gets you to know the surface of someone like Musk, because he's an amazing person, and God only knows what's up with him, all things considered. We saw his new truck. He was taking people out for a ride.
Piece of shit.
I didn't go out
It's
for a
a piece
ride.
of shit.
The truck's an amazing piece of engineering. The factory is massive. What do you say about someone who built a function?
Piece of shit, these trucks. They're breaking down all the time, okay? They're electric cars. They don't even have shit. It's not like a combustible engine with fucking tens of thousands of movable parts going on inside of them. This guy's got an electric car that doesn't even run on solar panels. So what's so amazing about it? I don't get where you guys claim this is amazing. Where the fuck were you, Jordan Peterson, back over the years when all these people that were really truly intelligent had cars that were running on water, and other cars that were running on plants and compost, and other people that had cars that were running on... Where the fuck were you with all those, right? Those were the guys that you should have been saying, what a genius, right? But no, they just got forgotten. Exxon would buy their idea and buy their patent, and then they squash it, just like they always do. Whenever any human comes up with something real or good, then it just gets squashed. It's amazing. But those people, no, we're not going to fucking talk about them. We're going to talk about this asshole lying motherfucker who lies about everything, and we love him.
Probably a reptilian.
Do you think there is other intelligent life outside there?
This is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy. Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
I saw you took a trip to the Tesla factory. What were your thoughts after meeting Elon Musk? Did you get to speak to him much?
I wouldn't say much. We spoke probably for 20 minutes in total, not purely privately because there was other people around, but that just barely gets you to know the surface of someone like Musk, because he's an amazing person and God only knows what's up with him, all things considered. We saw his new truck. He was taking people out for a ride. I didn't go out for a ride. The truck's an amazing piece of engineering. The factory is massive. What do you say about someone who built a functional electric car, then shot it into space on a rocket?
You say he's a
He's a
fucking
singular
idiot.
person.
You say he's
But
a lying
I thought
motherfucker. That's
it
what
went
you
very
say.
well. It was a very interesting evening. So I was pleased to be there, and we sort of walked around each other a bit, and it was just fine.
You guys interact a fair bit on Twitter.
We seem to, yeah.
What do you think that is? Why are you converging?
I don't know exactly. We're both well known, and I suppose to some degree that increases the probability of that kind of convergence. But maybe he's aiming up. Me too. Seems to be.
He's aiming up
Rockets and
literally.
everything.
He's aiming up very literally, yeah.
Definitely.
Didn't he put wasn't there a spaceman, a model of a spaceman in the driver's seat of the car that he put out into space?
That's certainly possible. He's got a theatrical twist. There's no doubt about that, and a great sense of humor, because that's really funny to shoot your own car out into space on a rocket. That's a pretty damn good joke.
What is it or why is it?
If you people can't watch that video of any of them for that matter, I mean, none of it makes any sense. When you watch his rockets come back down and do their little twirly on the boardwalk there, right? Do it a little twirly on the boardwalk. It's so ridiculous. I mean, you would need jets coming out the side in order to catch. I mean, you're the ones that are pushing gravity all the time. You guys are the ones that say that, oh, gravity, yeah, the laws of gravity. So if you believe in the laws of gravity, then why can't you see these rockets doing a twisty turn as they come in for a landing, turn around, and land back down on the rockets on these stations? You can't tell that that's all CGI? I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you then. The car in outer space, have some consideration, just like all the other bullshit stories we see in the news and everything. Have some consideration for the cameras, and the cameras, what they're telling you that are camera satellites, or a lot of times they don't even mention it, so that's how you catch them. Who's doing the videos? Who's taking these videos? Do you have another spaceship in outer space following your first spaceship that's got your car on it, right? I mean, there's no questions about this, and if so, how are you getting that other spaceship, right, or a satellite, or whatever he's going to tell you that it is? How are you getting it to revolve and get all these different angle shots of the car as it's going through? So in other words, you got one to the right, one to the left, all of a sudden, boom, they switch to another camera to the front of the cars, another one to the side of the car. Shadows don't match, lighting's not correct. They're not even that particular about really fooling anyone, really. It's almost to me like they're trying to prove how intelligent everybody is. How intelligent is everybody? So fucking intelligent that they're not going to go look for themselves? Are they so smart that they're just going to believe whatever nonsense we tell them, even if it goes against the science that we've been teaching them for 50 years, even if it goes against all those scientific methods, and then are they still going to believe what it is we're showing them? I think that's why they do it, to be honest.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
I saw you took a trip to the Tesla factory. What were your thoughts after meeting Elon Musk? Did you get to speak to him much?
I wouldn't say much. We spoke probably for 20 minutes in total, not purely privately because there was other people around, but that just barely gets you to know the surface of someone like Musk because he's an amazing person and God only knows
Oh, yeah.
what's up with him, all
He's
things
amazing.
considered. We saw his new truck. He was taking people out for a ride. I didn't go out for a ride. The truck's an amazing piece of engineering. The factory is massive. What do you say about someone who built a functional electric car, then shot it into space on a rocket? He's a singular person. But I thought it went very well. It was a very interesting evening. So I was pleased to be there, and we sort of walked around each other a bit, and it was just fine.
You guys interact a fair bit on Twitter.
We seem to, yeah.
What do you think that is? Why are you converging?
I don't know exactly. We're both well known, and I suppose to some degree that increases the probability of that kind of convergence. But maybe he's aiming up. Me too. Seems to be.
He's aiming up
Rockets and
literally.
everything.
He's aiming up very literally, yeah.
Definitely.
Didn't he wasn't there a spaceman, a model of a spaceman in the driver's seat of the car that he put out into space?
That's certainly possible. He's got a theatrical twist. There's no doubt about that, and a great sense of humor because that's really funny to shoot your own car out into space on a rocket. That's
Needless.
It's really funny too to take $45 billion a year minimum from the American people in order to do fake fucking ass CGI ass space launches into Mars and into outer space that doesn't even exist. That's funny. That is hilarious. We're gonna all look back and laugh at that someday, aren't we?
Protected and secure. It's like, first of all, being protected and secure does not give you the courage to say what you have to say. That's a completely, that theory couldn't be more backwards. You think you're going to get braver and braver as you get more and more protected? You think that's how the world works? I mean, I've watched university professors think that at some point they're going to say what they think as they develop their career, but by the time they're protected and secure, they've spent so much time not saying what they think that they aren't even who they were and they don't know what they think. So, no, he says what he says because he's always done that. And people who are like him are like that. And so, Steve Jobs, I presume, was exactly the same way. I mean, I know people who knew him. He always said what he thought. And he was pretty damn cut and dried about it, which is why the Apple products are such miracles of technological mastery. He had an unbelievably...
No. The Apple process and all those are the worst thing that has ever happened to us. They're not good. What you're calling technology, not good. Because it's not technology, it's going backwards. We're ignoring the real, true technology. We're ignoring the true creators' work in every which way, have been for a couple thousand years, probably 6,000 years.
Same with Elon, right? He's refined down what he does to a couple of very, very tight parameters.
He seems to have, although the enterprise he's put together is unbelievably high functioning. I mean, to produce an automobile sub-industry that's actually competitive and to bring down the cost of space exploration by a factor of 10 and to invent reusable rockets and to have developed this boring technology.
Reusable rockets.
It's miraculous. He's probably an alien.
Yeah, probably. There's only two
Probably a reptilian, isn't it?
American car companies, I think.
How can you say that, Jordan? How can you say that? I mean, that's just unbelievable to me that you would say that. Reusable rockets. Did you watch the videos of his reusable rockets? Can you get it through your head that that's not happening? Can you get it through your head that bullshit story of the rockets coming back down and spinning around and then landing back? First of all, it's unnecessary and it's stupid. Even the design of the rocket is fucking stupid. Flying penises are not the way to fucking fly in an electromagnetic nanocarbon system.
gigafactory the day before this thing opens. It's been pretty crazy out there. Thank you so much for making time.
Hey,
Busy
welcome.
day. I would love you to help us kind of cast our minds, I don't know, 10, 20, maybe 30 years into the future, and help us try to picture what it would take to build a future that's worth getting excited about. You've often said that the last time you spoke at TED, you said that was really just a big driver. It's, you know, you talk about lots of other reasons to do
TED Talks, another one. I should do a series to TED Talks sometime.
to
Bunch of
think about the
liars.
future and not think that it sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in general, there's a lot of discussion of like this problem or that problem, and a lot of people are sad about the future and that they're pessimistic, and I think this is not great. I mean, we really want to wake up in the morning and look forward to the future. We want to be excited about what's going to happen, and life cannot simply be about sort of solving one miserable problem after another.
So if you look forward 30 years, you know, this year, the year 2050 has been labeled by scientists as this kind of almost like this doomsday deadline on climate. There's a consensus of scientists, a large consensus of scientists who believe that if we haven't completely eliminated greenhouse gases or offset them completely by 2050, effectively we're inviting climate catastrophe. Do you believe there's a pathway to avoid that catastrophe, and what would it look like?
Yeah. So, I am not one of the doomsday people, which may surprise. I actually think we're on a good path. But at the same time, I want us to caution against complacency. So long as we are not complacent, as long as we have a high sense of urgency about moving towards a sustainable energy economy, then I think things will be fine. So I can't emphasize that enough. So long as we push hard and are not complacent, the future's going to be great. Don't worry about it. I mean, worry about it, but if you worry about it, ironically, it will be a self-unfulfilling prophecy. There are three elements to a sustainable energy future. One is obviously sustainable energy generation, which is primarily wind and solar. There's also hydro, geothermal. I'm actually pro-nuclear. I think nuclear is fine. But it's going to be primarily solar and wind as the primary generators of energy. The second part is you need batteries to store the solar and wind energy, because the sun doesn't shine all the time, the wind doesn't blow all the time. So you need a lot of stationary battery packs. And then you need electric transport. So electric cars, electric planes, boats, and then ultimately
Well, then why don't you just use the electromagnetic current that's all around us? Why don't we just do that? Why don't we use that? Right?
economy and it's those three things: solar, wind, stationary battery pack, electric vehicles. So then what are the limiting factors on progress? The limiting factor really will be battery cell production. So that's gonna really be the fundamental rate driver, and then whatever the slowest element of the whole lithium-ion battery cells supply chain, from mining and the many steps of refining to ultimately creating a battery cell and putting it into a pack, that will be the limiting factor on progress towards sustainability.
All right, so we need to talk more about batteries, because the key thing that I want to understand, like, there seems to be a scaling issue here that is kind of amazing and alarming. You have said that you have calculated that the amount of battery production that the world needs for sustainability is 300 terawatt hours of batteries.
That's the
end goal.
Very rough numbers, and I certainly would invite others to check our calculations, because they may arrive at different conclusions. But in order to transition not just current electricity production, but also heating and transport, which roughly triples the amount of electricity that you need, it amounts to approximately 300 terawatt hours of installed capacity.
So we need to give people a sense of how big a task that is. I mean, here we are, the Gigafactory. You know, this is one of the biggest buildings in the world. What I've read, and tell me if this is still right, is that the goal here is to eventually produce 100 gigawatt hours of batteries here a year.
We'll probably do more than that, but yes, that's hopefully we get there within a couple of years.
Right. But I mean, that is
Point one terawatt hours.
but that's still 1/100th of what's needed. How much of the rest of that 100 is Tesla planning to take on between, let's say, between now and 2030, 2040, when we really need to see the scale up happen?
I mean, these are just guesses. I mean, so please, people shouldn't hold me to these things. It's not like this is like some. What tends to happen is I'll make some best guess, and then people will. In 5 years, there'll be some jerk that writes an article. Elon said this would happen, and it didn't happen. He's a liar and a fool. It's very annoying when that happens. So these are just guesses. This is a conversation.
Right.
I think Tesla probably ends up doing 10% of that, roughly. Yes.
Let's say 2050, we have this amazing, 100% sustainable electric grid made up of, some mixture of the sustainable energy sources you talked about. That same grid probably is offering the world really low cost energy, isn't it, compared with now? And I'm curious about, like, are people entitled to get a little bit excited about the possibilities of that world?
People should be optimistic about the future. Humanity will solve sustainable energy. It will happen. If we are, continue to push hard, the future is bright.
Not if we're listening to Elon Musk, it is not. No way, man.
Possible also use that energy to do carbon sequestration. It takes a lot of energy to pull carbon out of the atmosphere, because in putting it in the atmosphere, it released energy. So now,
Right.
Obviously, in order to pull it out, you need to use a lot of energy. But if you've got a lot of sustainable energy from wind and solar, you can actually sequester carbon, so you can reverse the CO2 parts per million of the atmosphere and oceans. And also, you can really have as much fresh water as you want. Earth is mostly water. We should call Earth water. It's 70% water by surface area. Now, most of that's seawater, but it's like...
Yeah, he's bad. Jordan, what the fuck you doing listening to this guy, man?
Yeah.
At very low cost. Things will be good.
Things will be good.
Yes, things will be
And
good.
also, there's other benefits, right, to this non-fossil fuel world where the air is cleaner and
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because like when you burn fossil fuels, there's all these side reactions and toxic gases of various kinds, and sort of little particulates that are bad for your lungs. Like there's all sorts of bad things that are happening that will go away,
Okay.
and the sky will be cleaner and quieter. The future's gonna be good.
I want us to switch now to
Again, no discussion of the mineral streets. No conversation about them from any of them. Not from Joe Rogan, not from Jordan Peterson, not from Elon Musk, not from your governments. Very little even from the United Nations, all so twisted in lies and put down as conspiracy. You can see it with your own fucking eyes, but it's a conspiracy theory.
Sales of Tesla vehicles, for example. I mean, you've kind of been amazing. I think in 2014, when Tesla had sold that year 60,000 cars, you said, 2020, I think we will do 500,000 a year.
Yeah, we did almost exactly 500,000.
You did almost exactly 500,000. You were scoffed in 2014 because no one since Henry Ford with the Model T had come close to that kind of growth rate for cars. You were scoffed, and you actually hit 500,000 cars and 510,000 or whatever produced. But 5 years ago, last time you came to TED, I asked you about full self-driving, and you said, yep, this very year, where I am confident that we will have a car going from LA to New York without any intervention.
Yeah, I don't want to blow your mind, but I'm not always right.
But so talk. What's the difference between those two? Why has full self-driving in particular been so hard to predict?
I mean, the thing that really got me, and I think is going to get a lot of other people, is that there are just so many false dawns with self-driving, where you think you got the problem, have a handle on the problem, and then nope, it turns out you just hit a ceiling, because if you were to plot the progress, the progress looks like a log curve. So it's like or a series of log curves. So most people don't know what a log curve is, I suppose, but
Show the shape.
it goes up sort of sort of a fairly straight way,
Right.
and then it starts tailing off,
Right.
and you start
There's a kind of ocean.
getting diminishing returns. And you're like, oh, it was trending up, and now it's sort of curving over and up, and you start getting to these what I call local maxima, where you don't realize basically how dumb you were. That's and then it happens again. So, and
Yeah, he makes me sick to my fucking stomach listening to him. Anyways, this one here with the nose right here, the mouth right here. You see the beard line coming around. His ear is right here. I'm going to let him come in further. This one image, when I call him, I'm talking about this image. He always comes off to me as a Scottish descent because of the way the beard comes around. But you'll notice more detail as I let it come in, if this is the right angle. Because as I said, I do 360s on the camera, and I really don't feel like I'm really aggravated listening to this shit. The other eye's over here, one eye here, nose right here, mouth right here open, with the facial hair coming around this way. He's bald. He's mostly bald. And I'm pretty sure that just the hair comes around the ear here, if I remember correctly. It's a good image, and I usually take the camera off the stand and bring it around. Let's see. Again, cropping is very important, because everything's going to get collaged on you. So as the telescope pulls in more light, everything's going to be very collaged. And then, I'm sorry, as the moon comes in further, everything will get collaged. Take advantage of the light. That's why I always say go light to light, light to light. Even though you're not really seeing a lot here, because it will all get collaged. If I was to take the camera off the stand and go in on it, I could also do the same thing. I'm trying to do this intentionally so that you'll see. Now, I could certainly take my cropping tool once I got a full moon, and which I do, and I'll do it at a later date, and I can go around them. So here comes the, so other eye's over here, nose, mouth, beard, ear, bald head. Keep an eye on him. I'm going to let him come out a little bit further. And I've got a red filter on there. Usually I don't do the filter thing when I'm doing these, but I'm just fucking around. So okay, and then we're gonna start to lose him. I can get him way better than that. Just to let you know, I can get it way better than that by taking my camera off and using my camera as a viewing device. And it's millions and millions of images that make up the moon. There are millions of them. And I know pretty much all of them. I could identify them if you show me little areas of the moon and stuff. So it's nothing hard to memorize all the imagery in the moon. And the imagery in the moon doesn't change. It's not like the trees, where if you cut down a tree, you change the imagery. If you, the clouds are always moving. The builders are in motion, working in motion, so you have to pause the camera and stuff like that. It's not like that with the moon. Now, there's a Disney image that they had stolen with an eye here, an eye here, the nose is right here, the mouth is here. It looks like this stuff is spewing out of its mouth. When I turn around and go the other way, this is one here, this is one of the ones that is the evidence that you need if you were black, if you were African American, because this one here goes Indian to African American. I'll show it to you real good, but not on this angle. it's upside down and it's on the wrong angle. At this angle, I'm not even going to get into it, but there's many images right in here also. But when I spin this around, remember this area, because right here's the seashell. They call it the seashell on the moon. But anyways, back to what I was saying. As this one comes in, see the hairline up here. Inanimate objects is just us seeing what we want to see. When I see inanimate objects, so if I see something as a hat, I more or less relate it to a hairdo. When I see eyeglasses or sunglasses on another image that I'll show you later, I contribute that to just me seeing what I want to see. And as you move the camera around, you'll notice that it'll just go to the eyes. You'll pick up on the pupils and all that. So this one that I'm pointing out to you now, it'll show up a lot better at another angle. As a matter of fact, it'll be down here. When it's down here, it shows up better than when it's up here. So you get to kind of know the angles, I guess is my point. And I'm not listening to Elon Musk. I'm going to change it because I can't stand this fucking guy.